Mercury. Hello, namaste to all the Shiva and the Shaktis. Today we have a short video explaining what is tomorrow, because today is the 4th July 2020. Tomorrow is the moon eclipse. I want to speak shortly about the moon eclipse, and I want to speak also shortly about Mercury retrograde and how Mercury get combust. Not long ago, on the 1st of July, Mercury get combust. So what is the meaning of get combust? Combust is when you are too close to the sun. This is the sun. So imagine we put the sun in between you and me. Or let's put a fire. Let's sit by the fire, everyone is singing and we all enjoy the fire, and more people are coming and sitting on your back and making lines, and suddenly one guy came and put big piece of wood in the fire, and then slowly after a few minutes start to feel this warm. First it's warm, but then it's hot, and then it's heat. And when you get to the heat, this is when the sun starts to combust all the planets. How can I stand by the fire with so much heat? It's hard to think. It's hard to communicate with a person who is in the back of you, protected by you, asking you a question. And how can you turn and how can you resonate? Where is your reason? Where is your analyzing? Where is your discrimination? Because Mercury is about this, calculation, communication, analyzing, discrimination. So when a planet is too close to the sun, get combust, burn. So the qualities of Mercury that I just mentioned now are weak. We lose a little bit of ability of communication, of understanding, of having the clear discrimination. So this happened the 1st July 2020, when Sun and Mercury were together at the same degrees, 15 degrees together. After 3 days, because today is 4th, after 3-4 days, Mercury started to move from the combustion of the sun. Mercury came like this, and they move, and now they're going apart. And Mercury is retrograde, is going back. If all the planets turn around like this comes back. We're going to a retrograde planet after. So, remember that Mercury is the mind. Moon is the mind. But Moon is somehow the container of the Mercury. Mercury is like being inside the mind. Representing in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, we have the four mind, right? We have the manas, the citta, the amkara, and the buddhi. So Mercury, we call it also buddhi. When we have clarity of mind, right discrimination, understanding, higher understanding, we are using the buddhi, our buddhi, right? Then we have the challenging one, is related to the sun, is amkara. I know better than you, and I know already. I don't even to listen to it because I know everything. This is one of the dark side of the sun. Sun is not a beneficial planet all the time. Benefic and malefic, right? So it's not all the time, because it can combust any planet. It can combust Mars and becoming very violent in a way. Can combust Saturn, can combust all the planet. But hardly Sun can combust Rahu, because it's Rahu who is eclipsing the Sun. So this one is not the omnipresent in there. This guy is creating eclipse. We're going through it just after, in a minute. And then Mercury is also related to the manas, right? We have the manas, the Citta, and what is Citta? Citta vritti. When we speak in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Citta are the memories, and the vrittis are the fluctuation in our mind. When we don't have clarity, when you remove a glass with earth inside and you remove it, and you can see it's not clear. So the vrittis is what is the fluctuation of our mind. We don't have clarity. And Mercury, through Citta, brings memories. We go in the back of our mind somewhere, we look in here and we bring the memory. And Mercury, by being retrograde, so let's go through the retrograde planet now. Retrograde planet, nowadays, the 4th of July, we have Jupiter retrograde, right? Saturn is retrograde and Mercury is also retrograde. I forgot to write in here. Mercury retrograde. And then we have Rahu and Ketu, always retrograde. And some of Uranu or Pluton or one of these planets are retrograde. I don't know, because Indian astrology don't calculate them. So the 4th of July, I just opened right now the program in my telephone. You know, I put the time of Phangan, the date, and everything, and it came like this. Today, if that person is born right now or not long ago, is born like, I change it. Actually, I change it to make it easier. So let's say that this person is a number 9. Number 9 is the 9th zodiac sign, Sagittarius. Remember, in the previous video, I did 2 videos in English. One explaining the meaning of the 12 houses, and one is explaining what is Rahu and what is Ketu, in big lines. Ketu, the headless body, right? I tell the story in the video that how the gods cut the head of the demon, right? So you can watch the other video. So today, in the first house, first, second house, third house, fourth house, 12 houses. In those 12 houses, 12 zodiac sign sit. Each zodiac sign in one house. So let's take the example, that person is born as a Sagittarius, right? So Sagittarius in here, Capricorn is in here, Aquarius and Pisces and Aries and Taurus in all the houses, right? So nowadays we have, as we said, 3 retrograde planets. So what is a retrograde planet? Wait a second. Easier. When I learned in India, my astrologer taught me this to better understand what is a retrograde planet. So retrograde means you and me are planet, and we turn around the sun. Okay, we go like this and we make the full round, super happy. But at the moment of your birth, or at the moment of my birth, when I check my chart, 40 years after, I check, I had Saturn retrograde. In my natal chart, when I was born, Saturn was retrograde, right? So check your planets if you have retrograde planet, because this is also related to your natal chart. It's not related only to the transit of today, right? Retrograde planet. I'm an archer. I'm Arjuna. Let's say I'm Arjuna. I have my bow, my arch, and I open. I open like this. This is a retrograde planet. Retro, going back. Instead of turning, instead of you and me turning around the sun, you are Venus or you are Mars, and I'm Mercury, for example, and I'm telling to you, hey, listen, guy, I'm retrograde. I'm going back to look for something. And then once I found what I was looking for, I can throw the arrow in one direction. And my astrologer told me to understand when you have a retrograde planet in your astrology, you have to go back and look for that thing. But you have to understand first the meaning of the planet. If Saturn is retrograde, you have to understand the meaning of Saturn. If Jupiter is retrograde, you have to first understand the meaning of Jupiter, right? But then you have to understand in what zodiac sign are they placed. Because Saturn in Aries is debilitated, losing power, doesn't feel good in Aries, while Saturn in Libra feels exalted, feels very good and comfortable. And then you have to see the placement of Saturn debilitated in one of the 12 houses. So see how you have to understand. You cannot just say, hey, I have this there. No, this is not enough. When you do astrology, you read a map. You cannot go understanding because of one planet. You need to see the aspect. Maybe Saturn is with another planet, or Moon is there and Saturn is looking to the Moon, bringing his shadow, his suffering, his obstacles. Or Saturn with Venus is bringing also obstacles, but discipline in marriage life. So you can see many things, right? So check if you have retrograde planet in your natal chart, and if you have them, if you have one of these three, Jupiter, Saturn, or Mercury, in your natal chart that are retrograde, yes, this moment, the 4th of July, is really affecting you. But if you have none of these three planets retrograde in your natal chart, yes, there is an impact which is minimized. It's not as big as if I have Saturn retrograde in my natal chart. Today Saturn is retrograde. Yes, I have the impact of Saturn. So I need to work on Saturn. I need to understand the meaning of Saturn. I need to understand the remedies of Saturn. I need to understand how can I deal with Saturn in my life, inside of me, seeing Saturn, what is the relationship that have Saturn with the three dosha. Saturn is a Vata planet, creating winds in my body, creating 70% of the diseases in the human being body, mind, emotion, in the 5 bodies, right? We have 5 koshas. So you have to check then related to Ayurveda, Tridosha, then you check what body is affecting, Saturn, in what body of your 5 bodies is affecting, and then you have to see the nature of Saturn. For example, Saturn is a tamasic energy. You have tamasic, rajasic and sattvic energy. So you have to go through some studies of the scriptures of India to understand better a chart. And if you want remedies, then you go into the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Because you have the 8 limbs, so you go and you try to understand if you need tapas, commitment, for example, for Saturn, which is related to constance, routine, work, committing with oneself. If you don't have any discipline in your life, so you go in the yama, the 3rd yama, yes, niyama, the 3rd yama, and you go for tapas, and you embrace a medicine related to Saturn. And each planet has his own yama and yoga sutras of Patanjali and Ayurveda and Ayurvedic treatment and everything, right? So you need to have a big understanding if you want to go through Vedic astrology. It's nice to have, bigger picture. So, retrograde planet, going back, once you find the meaning of Saturn, for example, of Jupiter, which is related to belief system. Jupiter is retrograde, perfect. to my spiritual belief system, my philosophy of life, you know, my relationship with gurus, my relationship with teachers in general, teachers, you know, my relationship with family also, my relationship with long pilgrimage, because Jupiter rules the 9th house of long pilgrimage, ashrams, sitting with the guru who has this color and receiving the knowledge from it. But if you have Jupiter retrograde in your natal chart, for example, maybe you're not the guy who will surrender to the foot of a guru, because Jupiter is the guru. Look, I show you Jupiter. This is my guru, one of my gurus. Okay, is an Indian Vaidya, Indian doctor of Ayurveda. So where is your belief system nowadays? Where is your belief system with Jupiter retrograde? In what do you believe? Maybe when there is a planet who is retrograde, it's like, what should I go back and look for? You know, my belief system, my philosophy of life, my spirituality. What is the religion I feel identified with, or not at all, that I give up religion, I give up spirituality, and I don't give a one, you know, about this, because Jupiter is retrograde and it doesn't want to know anything about sacred scriptures, you know, sacred knowledge. So maybe there is a lack of belief, lack of faith when there is Jupiter retrograde. In a small amount, remember that if you have Jupiter retrograde in your natal chart, that will affect you, really. But now still, now is, you know, is Jupiter not long ago was in Capricorn, debilitated according to Indian astrology, in Capricorn. Now is in Sagittarius, in his own zodiac sign. But it is said in India, according to the scriptures, that one zodiac sign, one planet, when is going back retrograde to the previous zodiac sign, it is not a good thing. Okay? So now we have nowadays, tomorrow, let's speak about tomorrow eclipse. Tomorrow eclipse is Moon and Ketu and Sun and Rahu. And if you watch the video before I did about Rahu and Ketu, you will understand what is an eclipse. So let's go just briefly. This is what happened tomorrow. This is what is going to really happen, you know, the moon. So Ketu will eclipse the moon and Rahu will eclipse the sun at the same degrees. And remember, Rahu and Ketu are the one, is the demon who came in between sun and moon to drink the nectar of immortality. And when sun and moon recognize Rahu, the demon, they denounce to Vishnu. They say, Vishnu, the sustainer of our universe, Vishnu, look at this demon. He wants to drink the nectar of immortality. So Vishnu takes his chakra and cut the head. So now we have Rahu and Ketu, always in opposition. If you can see in here, Ketu is up here, right? Whoopa. And Rahu is down there with the sun. So now we have the eclipse. In addition to this, Jupiter is also here, and Mercury, who was combust on the 1st of July, and still feeling the heat of the sun, you know. It's like when you stand in the sun, you think you're going to take some nice colors, but you get sunburn completely. So one day after, you still, wow, so hot, you cannot sleep in the night, you know. 1, 2, 3 days after, you say, oh, I start to feel better. But impact of Mercury being combust is still within us on the 4th of July. And remember that Mercury is retrograde. So he suffered a lot. Mercury suffered a lot, lastly. Remember the four mind of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Retrograde Mercury means going retrograde back into the Citta, the memories. What do you want to look in your memories? Where is your spontaneity? I'm talking to you and suddenly I go into the memory and I bring this memory and I start to speak to you, which is not from the inner moment. This is coming from another place, you know, through the memory. And this is pure corruption. Our mind, our intellect, our body is like being trapped in false idea, wrong memories, or old patterns. Remember the eclipse we had on 21 of June 2020, the very powerful eclipse we had. It's perfect moment to cut, you know, with patterns, old patterns and bad habits, you know, and embrace something new. In order to embrace something new, you need to release something. You need to lose something, you know. So the eclipse on 21 was perfect to do that. But now comes more challenges, more challenges. What is our communication about? What is our discrimination? Are we able to study? Are we able to communicate without memories and being spontaneous, being innocent like a child, being full of curiosity? Or we have to mix everything. So it's better if we are in this state of confusion. Mauni. Mauni is an Indian technique you do in the ashram, is not talking. It's just better not to talk or to create any false listener, any false belief system. Because both are retrograde. And this is the guru speaks about knowledge and everything. And how do you speak it? You know, through the combustion, through retrograde. What are you saying? What is your philosophy of life? What is your inner philosophy of life? What do you want to spread around you? Something that... So watch out. Watch out. What are you building right now in your life? You know, because 21 of June passed. Opportunity to receive something new and to forget and to release something from the past. But right now it's still challenging because tomorrow we have another eclipse of moon. So let's go to the moon. I need to get back this one because this is let's find something in here. For example, this is Ketu. I show you already, you know, this is Ketu. The shadow planet, you know, and it will eclipse the moon. So this veil, it's coming on top of our mind. And it's not only tomorrow, it's there very close since the approach of the eclipse, you know. 21 of June, moon was here. 21 of June. After 15 days, the moon come here to sit with Ketu. So what Ketu wants? Remember, Ketu is a planet of illusion. Maya. In India, Maya, illusion. The word of fantasy, you know. The things that are not real. The thing that you see that is like, it's not clear somewhere. Inside of us, it seems that the impact of Ketu wants to bring us world of fantasy, getting lost in. I wish for you that you are not drinking and smoking because this is really the worst moment to do it, you know, because it will make it worse, you know. The shadow is like this. This is what Rahu and Ketu are playing. Can you see me? Can you see me? This is the impact. We don't have clarity. Our mind is not really functioning in the right way. In addition to this, because this is our mind, in addition to this, we have Mercury, our discrimination, who get combust, who is retrograde, and under the influence of Rahu by the eclipse with the Sun. I mean, you can understand a little bit how this works. That is not an easy moment. So what is the best to do right now? Meditation, the right sadhana, the daily practice, because we are talking from a yogic point of view, because I'm here in Thailand, in Phangan, and some of my friends asked me, can you do some video in English also? Only in Spanish you are doing it? So let's do some in English. So the advices are sadhana. Sadhana means daily practice, daily spiritual practice through what we have. Look at the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. First you have the yamas, ahimsa, the non-violence. So watch out. Where is Mercury? Watch out how you speak and what you speak, to whom you speak. Ahimsa, non-violence. Then we have satya, the second of the yamas, truthfulness. Try to be truthful inside of your heart. And by the way, ahimsa, non-violence, is not to be violent towards oneself. Super important. By indulging in too much food, drugs, alcohol, or whatever thing, especially in this moment, right? Satyam. Satya is another one who is non-attachment, okay? Step back from being too much attached to things, ashteya. Then we have brahmacharya, perfect moment not to lose the ojas, to lose sperm, to lose too much blood if you are menstruating. Woman, put your legs up, stay on the bed and avoid losing too much blood. And then we have the last one is non-possessiveness, greediness. Okay, forget about being too much wanting of everything, you know. These are the yamas. Then we have the niyamas is sausha, cleaning every day, the cleansing that we have. We can clear our mouth, we can, okay, you know, all the purification, the detox and everything. Contentment, santosha, and trying to find happiness out of the material world, right? And then tapas, the commitment, and then you go through all the yamas and niyamas, and then you go through the yoga postures, yoga posture a little bit every day, and then the pranayamas, and then the aparigraha or pratyahara, the withdrawal of the five senses, you know, to calm down the mind, not to be all the time looking, listening to, no, come down. And then you go to dharana, concentration, dhyana, in entering in the state of meditation. I'm not talking about the last, which is samadhi, because I don't feel like I can speak about this, you know. But the one before, I try to do my best. So I invite you to do your best also with your sadhana. Get into yoga to face all the eclipse, and not only the eclipse of tomorrow, because the eclipse will last 1 week more. So we are under the influence of this veil of avidya, because Rahu and Ketu brings us the veil of ignorance, that we ignore there is something better. So we stuck on our ideas. Oh, this is like this, I'm suffering, and we play the victim, right? Get out from that place and open yourself. So 1 more week we will have the influence of the eclipse. Mercury retrograde will last up to the 12th of July. So for the next 15 days, next 10 days at least, full power in your sadhana, in your spiritual practice. Right? I think I went through all the... And Saturn retrograde is also, if you feel limited in your actions, it's okay. You do the karma yoga action. If you feel that you are not receiving anything, that everything you are doing, there is huge obstacles in here, in there, I cannot do that, don't get into sorrow, into suffering inside of you. Get back and serve the others, because Saturn is the planet of servitude. Karma yoga, uplifting society and helping the unprivileged people. Right? I think this is enough. I tried to make it shorter, not to get you bored. I hope you could follow me. If you have any question, you have here down the comments, the likes, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, you're welcome. Thank you for your attention. Bolebaba ki jai. Ciao.